Did you hear another sailor's drowned on the beach? What an idiot. Did you hear another sailor's drowned on the beach? What an idiot.
And the kiss mark, it's the work of a siren, I'm telling you.
Who's it?
Here to gawk at the bloater?
Not at all, officer. Perhaps I can help.
Help with what exactly? Solving an accident? Fellow drank himself to death, literally. Case closed. It's not the first case, neither. A few days ago, another drunken sailor drowned himself in a fountain.
What can you tell me about the other sailor?
Nothing to tell. Some rich chap complained about a dead body in a fountain. Wasn't me who inspected the scene, though. Should have gone easy on the bottle, if you ask me. They get to shore, they start drinking like fish. Too bad booze doesn't make them grow gills, eh?
There's talk on the streets that a siren could be responsible for the drownings.
A siren? You mean the bird woman kind? Why, of course, we've got sirens aplenty round here. Harpies, too. Oh, please.
I would like to take a look around.
Go ahead. Just don't disturb the evidence, all right? I still have to write my report.
The water is shallow and the slope is smooth. One would have to be dead drunk to drown here. It's a good thing the tide hasn't washed away the tracks. I should inspect them more closely. The water is shallow and his whole body is tense, stiffened by rigor mortis. A kiss on the forehead is quite intimate, but the vulgar lip rouge suggests a different type of intimacy. Interesting. The face is frozen in a contorted smile. His fingers are clenched as if he's clutching to life even now. Worn, soaked boots, size 8. Something smells fishy here, and it's not brine. Siren's song. The rumours weren't so absurd after all. There's still some left, just enough for a tipple. The sediment contained cyanide. It turns out he was poisoned.
Didn't the copper say that fellow drank himself to death? He wasn't wrong.
A bright red lip rouge mark.
What is it?
What now? I've still got my report to write, so make it quick.
I hate to break it to you, officer, but it wasn't an accident.
Care to elaborate, smarty boots?
The bottle of wine I found near the victim had been poisoned with cyanide. He was dead before he hit the water.
Whoa, that's a twist. Any leads on the poisoner?
Nothing to put my finger on, but I might need to inspect the other drowned sailor.
Well, of course I won't stop you. It's not my case anyway. We had a complaint about a body in a fountain. Can't have bodies laying about in fountains, can we? It was somewhere in Scaladio, as far as I know. You think they're connected?
That is what I intend to find out. Thank you.
Did you hear, Basilio? Did you hear?
Oh, look, they drained the fountain and removed the body. Too late.
No matter, we'll work with what we have. Last week's newspaper, the front page reads, "Sky is the limit, Governor funds Arsenal's second airship." A broken bottle with no label. A bright red lip rouge mark. Light tobacco with a hint of citrus.
Drowning in a 2 feet deep fountain. I've seen some things, but this really takes the biscuit. Drowning in a 2 feet deep fountain. I've seen some things, but this really takes the biscuit.
A cotton shawl. Could it be our sirens? A worn leather tobacco pouch, salt-stained from a long time at sea. This wine, again. Don't sailors prefer spirits? Drained to the last drop. The victim won't be needing his cap anymore. I might as well take it. Ugh, the litter bin is right there. This sailor is another victim of the same woman. She poisoned him and pushed him into the fountain to make it look like an accident.
Sherlock, the spot where he fell. I saw something. Maybe you should take a look.
A water-soaked matchbox from the Drinking Dutchman. Must be a local pub.
Blimey, the great detective is baffled by a piece of cutlery.
Venetian copper soldi. Authentic, but worthless.
Simply the best, the finest clothes for the finest citizens. A perfect choice.
I'm shipping up to Boston in a few days.
What can I get you, mate?
Nah, I'm good. Don't want to end up like that guy who drowned in the fountain after having one too many.
Aye, I know the fella. Shame, damn shame. But let me tell ya, it wasn't the drink that got him. 'Twas a curse.
You're pulling my leg.
No kidding, mate. You sail long enough, you start taking it seriously. He was from HMS Achilles. Some British schooner, nothing special. Except one of them Jack Tars shot an albatross. Everyone knows it's bad luck. Everyone. The dimwit brought the curse upon his whole crew. 3 are dead already.
Wait, I've heard of only 2 such accidents. Are you saying that another man drowned?
Drowned or not, they've all kicked the bucket. Just this morning, another member of the crew was found dead. It's a curse, I'm telling ya.
Now we're obliged to find out if it's really a curse. Let's go and take a look at that sailor.
It must indeed be the curse, but how do you know all that?
Why, he told me the whole story himself.
The victim told you?
His crewmate. The one who killed an albatross, Harry Thorne. He's renting a room upstairs. Every day, he gets completely rat-arsed, raving on and on about the bird around his neck. He's sleeping it off right now. But when the blighter wakes up, it'll be the same thing all over again.
Do you have a free room?
Certainly do. Dirt cheap. Here's the key. Go pick anyone you like.
Hey, barkeep. Another one over here.
Ugh, this place stinks of urine and cheap alcohol.
Be my guest? Well, if it ain't Mr. Smarty Boots. Guess what? You were right about the poisoning, but this time I'm ahead of the game. We've got another homicide on our hands. Same method, same everything. See for yourself.
A sharp, bloody rock stuck deep in the mud. The officer must have rolled the body over. He suffered a head wound. There's caked blood in his hair underneath all the mud. Looks like he slipped. An empty bottle of rum. There'd be no sirens. This was clearly an accident.
What did I tell you? We've a killer on the loose. I knew it.
That may be true, but this here is very clearly an accident. The victim slipped and hit his head on a rock. I would have thought it obvious.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I thought I had all this sewn up. But you just had to come along and make me look like an idiot. I hope you're happy now, genius. Just move along.
So it was a curse after all. The curse of clumsiness. I hope it's not contagious.
Not in the mood for chit chat.
The smell alone makes me feel groggy.
The same as we saw earlier. She's pretty free with her kisses.
Perhaps too much for her own good. The photo of the cursed crew. Here's Thorn, and right next to him, our first drowning victim. Crew of HMS Achilles, Cordona 1879.
Now we walk into a trap, guns blazing. The game is afoot, Sherry boy.
Well said. I think I'll borrow that line from you. He's out cold. No use trying to wake him. Oh, it smells of stale cigarettes and damp bedsheets. Not exactly the best place to stay in town. Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, I know something about this, darling. What happened?
It's going to be raining.
Come on over, lovey. Don't be shy. I can see you're up for some fun. Madame Pauline will see you right. Girls, boys, a bit of both. Whatever tickles your pickle, darling. What's that got to do with me? I don't see what you're getting at. What's that got to do with me? What's that got to do with me? Cannot help you with this, lovey. What's that got to do with me? I don't see what you're getting at. Cannot help you with this, lovey. 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 Cannot help you with this, lovey.
I'm looking for the girl who wrote this letter. Perhaps you know who she might be?
Let me see. No, I don't know, lovey. I have a Lizzie here, but I doubt she can even spell her own name. And what's all this nonsense about a special client? This is a business we're running here, not a charity. I don't see what you're getting at.
I'm looking for a specific girl. This is her shawl. Do you have any idea where she might be?
Ah, I know who you mean. It's the goody two shoes down the street. She's not one of mine, though. She's not even a working girl, if I say so myself. Trust me, lovey. We'll give you a much better time.
I don't doubt it, Ma'am, but I have to see her first. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, I think we should interrogate some of them. Well, hell, all of them.
How are you?
Harry, it's you! I knew you'd come. It's been so long, but you haven't changed a bit. I don't suppose you remember me, do you?
You must be Eloisa, yes? I got your letter.
Wonderful. No point beating around the bush then. I've missed you, love. I wonder if you still have your prowess. Why don't we go to my place for some wine and something extra?
How could I refuse such an offer from a pretty girl like you? Let's go right now.
Wonderful. Follow me. It's not far from here. Well, here we are. Make yourself comfortable, love. There's wine on the table. You should have some, loosen you up. Bring out your naughty side.
Won't you drink with me?
Absolutely. I'll join you in a minute. I just need to powder my nose.
All right then. I'll be waiting for you, pet.
Did you just call her pet? Seriously? Boy, you are truly hopeless, Sherlock.
Siren's song. She is consistent, I'll give her that. The bottle was open and the cork replaced.
Hey, if you want to keep this stupid act up, you better pour out the wine and quick. Hurry up, she'll be out any second.
HMS Achilles, Friday, 5 p.m. She prepared for their arrival. The beloved child of a rich family.
Come on, hurry up. This lip rouge looks good on you. Just saying.
Ah, she's smoking citrus-flavoured cigarettes. The dots connect. White powder with a bitter almond-like odour. These are no smelling salts. It's cyanide.
Oh, here she comes.
Sorry for making you wait, sweetie. I hope the wine has kept you good company.
Cyanide is not exactly the best company.
Wait, what's happening?
It's time I drop my act. This beard is false. I'm not Harry Thorne.
Oh, I see. You're from the police then, yes? Here to question me?
There's no need. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I know that you killed Thorne's crewmates, and I know why.
Well, Mr. Holmes, you can save your breath. I won't deny a thing. But please stop tormenting me with this farce. Do what you must.
I will keep it a secret, but you do have to stop.
How can I stop now after all I've done? I thought it would bring me solace. Stupid. It is too late.
You cannot undo what you've done, that much is true, but it's not too late to move on. It's never too late.
You're right. You must be right. I knew it all along, I just didn't have it in me to admit it.
I'm glad that you do now. And here's your shawl. Try not to lose it again.
I won't. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Thank you so much.
Extra, extra! Story ends.
He's even been putting up posters. Poor.
Come closer and try something on. For the finest clothes, for the finest citizens. Of course. Think it over. Take your time. Did you hear what Did you hear what
I'm having deja vu.
Greetings. Would you be here about my violin by any chance?
I am. I saw from your posters that it was stolen. The name is Sherlock Holmes.
Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Anthony Jones. But by the sounds of it, you haven't seen my instrument, alas. But if there's anything you can do to help locate it, I'd be most glad.
Just tell me exactly what happened. How was your violin stolen?
Some needy soul broke into my home while I was out. The only thing of value they took was the instrument.
Did you report the theft to the police?
I did, but they dismissed it as petty theft. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame them. They certainly have more important matters to deal with.
It would be another crime if I let some petty thief get away with your beloved violin. Let me help you find it.
Oh, thank you very much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. Come inside, I'll show you everything. Feel free to look around.
The door was kicked in. This cover is dusty. It hasn't been taken off for a long time. I see you've received many accolades.
Ah, those are from a long...
These are intricate pieces of music.
to perform a lot.
Beautiful if my sight reading holds true. The thief left the bow. I suppose he prefers pizzicato. The scrap of fabric is covered in white stains. Clumsy of a thief to cut himself on the glass he just broke. The jagged bottle reeks of cheap whiskey. An utterly useless theft deterrent for a glass display case. Nothing was taken except for the violin. How odd.
Anything else you'd like to know?
You weren't here when the burglary happened, correct?
I was tending to my wife's grave at the cemetery. I was only gone a few hours and locked the door before leaving.
Does anyone else live here?
No. My dear Emily died long ago. And God never blessed us with children. I used to give music lessons, but nobody visits me anymore.
You hear it, Vasilya?
The trail stops here among the ways.
Hello, sir. Would you like some fruit? Fresh from the orchard?
I'm not hungry, but I'm looking for a violin that was stolen. Any chance you saw someone with one?
Oh, yes, I did. It was sailors, sir. And they were very good customers. They ate lots of fruit, and said that my donkey looks like their friend. A left and left and... Lieutenant Sean.
A lieutenant. Did you see where they went?
No, sorry, sir. I was helping other buyers. Oh, and sir, the sailors also took my donkey. So I guess they weren't very good customers. They promised to return him, but they didn't come back. My father will kill me if he finds out. So I'm still waiting here for them.
Do you know Anthony Jones, the musician? He lives nearby.
Of course. Mr. Jones is very kind. He never barters. Funny you ask.
I'm yet to crack a smile, so pray tell.
Well, the first time they came by, the sailors mentioned something about music, so I told them Mr. Jones can teach them how to play. Wait, so what is his violin? Oh.
You couldn't have known they would steal from the old man. Fortunately, you made up for it with your testimony. I'll find them and your donkey soon enough. Stay put. Excuse me, just one question.
Listen, friend. I like your face. I'll tell you.
The donkey was being stubborn, but so were they.
There we are. The first lead in our asinine chase. One of them lost his cap. They certainly bought a lot of fruit from the boy. Fear of scurvy, perhaps? Oh, this must be Lieutenant Sean. The sailors couldn't get him inside the tavern.
Don't forget to point the boy to his donkey on our way back.
When the king is out, like hell.
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you until next month. Too simple. May I? Don't bop.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I couldn't miss the party.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple. No more crime for you until next month.
I'm coming for you.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I'm coming.
Don't bother moving. You've...
Overcome him. Don't rush.
I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming for you. I couldn't miss the party.
Don't cry, you'll live.
The snuff's ready.
Well, they left me no choice. I think I might be nearing intoxication myself just from the smell of them. The maker's stamp suggests it was made by a student of Pressender. Quite a lovely instrument.
And somehow, after all the mayhem, it's still in one piece.
Help me, please.
No, I haven't heard about that.
I found your donkey. It's not far from here, outside the Wet Whiskers Tavern. You'd better go after it before someone decides to borrow it again.
Thank you, sir. I'll be quick as a flash. Hey, Yusuf, please look after my cart, okay? And don't eat anything. Well, you can have a couple of grapes, but only the small ones.
Well done. I look forward to the beautiful reunion.
Did you hear what Silvia Coppello is in jail?
Here's your violin, Mr. Jones. It might have gained a few nicks and scratches, but considering what it's been through, it's a miracle that it's still in one piece.
God bless you. I am deeply in your debt, Mr. Holmes. The scratches don't matter. They are like scars, each telling a story. It is the sound that matters. Oh, you should hear her sing.
It would be my pleasure.
This melody, Sherlock. Don't you recognize it? Look up, Sherry. There used to be an attic up there. We used to sneak in from the roof and listen to Mr. Jones play when we were children. You should tell the old man the truth. I think it will mean a lot to him.
Bravo. I'd forgotten how beautiful a violin sounds in the skilled hands of a virtuoso. That, melody, it brought back some memories. I have a confession to make, Mr. Jones. As a child, I used to sneak into the attic above this very room and listen to you play. Spellbound by the music.
Oh, so that was you. After my wife's death, it was difficult to pick up the violin again. But knowing someone was listening helped me persevere. In fact, a young man like yourself could breathe a second life into this instrument. It's a remarkable outlet for one's emotion. You should have it.
I can't accept that. And, well, I don't play.
It's never too late to learn, Mr. Holmes. The way I see it, the violin chose you. Take good care of her.
Sherry, I'm really glad we helped him.
Did you hear it, Basilia?
Take a look. Try it on. It'll be a nice purchase.
Extra, extra! The strike of the eagle!
I thought he would kill the boy. I've never seen Giorgio so angry. I hope the kid is safe.
Let's hope no one's been hit by this smooth mineral. A deck of tarot cards, very popular among street performers. The name of the original performer has been replaced with Dilwyn.
You know what? Put on the magic cap. I have a feeling it'll help.
It's not actually magic, John.
Well, not to you perhaps, but to a boy, any magician's hat is special.
Should have known better than to jostle a police officer.
It's all right, boy. You can come out. Your pursuer has been intercepted by Cordona's finest.
I didn't do... Hey, that's my hat you're wearing.
I know it is. I followed you from your magic stand. Are you okay?
I'm fine. You should keep the hat. It makes you look like the amazing Alonso. He's the best magician around. It never suited me anyway.
Is that so? Let me take a look at you. You wear your bruises like a badge of honor. A souvenir of your street antics. Your clothes are ragged, yes, but your hair and nails are clean. You're no urchin. This is a rich boy's game, a way to fight off boredom. You made a costume, snuck out from home, and put your skills to the test.
Wow, I guess you do know me.
Clearly. So, tell me, why did you call that man a liar?
Because he is. He told me he's a lord. But no lord has calluses on his hands and sour cabbage stuck in his moustache. He came after me. He caught me with a fist. Nasty bugger.
What did you expect? You embarrassed him in front of his peers and he couldn't admit it. Of course he would lash out. You must be careful how you deploy the truth, Dilwyn. It's a potent weapon, as easily turned against the speaker as it is brandished by him.
Yeah, well, the truth is what people pay me for. I simply notice things others don't. But I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I can do it too. It's called deductive reasoning. I happen to be somewhat of an expert in it.
I never knew there was anyone else like me.
Your abilities come with consequences, Dilwyn. To adults, you're a nuisance. To other kids, a freak. You must learn how to blend in. Bite your tongue.
But I don't want to blend in.
Then they will lock you up. The truth hurts, and the bigger the truth, the further men will go to silence it. Be careful how and when you deploy it.
All right. I mean, it was just an amusement.
Yes, nothing like a swift uppercut to really pass the time. Perhaps when faced with the monotony of this world, you will find a place in your mind to explore instead. There is little to gain in idle provocation. Why don't you go to the police and show them your skills? You could become a real detective one day.
They won't take me seriously. Grown-ups never do.
I'm sure you'll be able to impress them, Dilwyn. Just work your magic.
All right. Maybe I'll do that. Catching criminals could be fun.
Before you go, impress me. What do you see?
You're overconfident, as a way to mask your insecurities. You're more vain than you care to admit. And you notice when people notice you. You act like you don't need anyone, because it's easier to pretend you like being alone than to ask for help. You desperately hope to find somewhere you belong. But you never will. Nowhere, no one will ever be enough. And the truth is, you're terrified. You're too smart and too empty inside. You know how dangerous that is, and you know exactly what you're capable of.
Valiant attempt, but alas, you've missed the mark.
Oh, really? Well, what does John think?
Sherlock, did he just... how?
I don't know.
Did you hear about...
In the police. Let's pretend to be Say we can just stand around and look confused.
Oh, what a long day.
Excuse me, but are you Mr. Capello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
No. A minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Please, tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Capello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal?
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Capello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed. Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes 12 times a day for 12 years. I do not recall.
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met, and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Cordona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the deities tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Capellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection, but if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
Well, Mr. Capello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavour to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, there's little else I can do.
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Capello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Capello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Basilio tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but, I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No. I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
You've had quite the day, Mrs. Capello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.
Hello there. Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Ill-fitting pants, wonky nose, and hair that appears to have been cut by your own hand. You must be Billy Lloyd.
Oh, it's you! I knew you'd come.
You did?
You're Mirko Gallia, the best investigative journalist on Cordona. I'm a fan of your work.
Alas, you're mistaken. The name is Sherlock Holmes, and your employer...
Oh, of course. Discretion. I'm sorry. I doubt the policeman upstairs heard me, though, so your secret is safe with me, Sherlock.
Mr. Capello told me you were present during the burglary and scared the criminal off the property?
There, you should have seen it. As soon as the burglars saw me, they went white as death. Ran out the back door of the office. I heard a thud and cat shrieks, so I think they went over the railing and into the bushes out back. Clearly, my reputation precedes me. Mr. Capello was so proud.
You're a guard, but you didn't give chase.
Well, by the time I made it outside, they were miles away. So I went back to help Mrs. Capello. That kind of gentlemanly courtesy is why I'm so well regarded round these parts.
When did the burglary happen?
Oh, after 10 in the evening. I was just talking to Mrs. Capello.
Does she normally work this late?
No, it's the first time it happened. Usually I'm alone at night. I was explaining to Mrs. Capello how drinking water every 3 hours can help with digestion, when she excused herself and went back upstairs. Then there was a scream, and I ran up to the office and...
I know what happened next, thank you. What about last evening? Do you have any more details about the break-in?
Of course. I write down everything that happens during my watch. Take a look.
Fastidious in its mundanity, but I will make of it what I can. What did the thief look like?
Shorter than me, mid-20s, a huge scar across the right cheek going from the eye. Short hair. She didn't look like a ghost. Too corporeal.
Hold on. She? You didn't think to mention the burglar was a woman?
Why did you assume it was a man? It's the 19th century, sir. Ambitious young women are out there pursuing a career, and I, for one, encourage it.
Yes, yes, spare me the sermon. I must go and inspect the crime scene. If I have further questions, Mr. Lloyd, I will find you.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be able to keep away.
Right.
The best on the market. You can wallop them, you can burn them. Nothing will work.
I bet he tested that himself.
Strength, security, peace of mind. Tacky.
Well, you know, that's your opinion, good sir.
Blood on the safe door could have been left by the victim. Clear indications of blunt trauma, possibly inflicted before the victim was in the safe. Bulging veins, cyanosis, bloodshot eyes, odd foaming in the mouth. Bruises, torn nails, bleeding was severe and continued at length. Clothes are not fully buttoned. Was the victim dressing or undressing? What a rotten way to die.
Yeah, what a shame.
The bottle is half empty. A wine, well enjoyed. Recently used, but why would it be here?
Oh, why do I get the worst jobs?
That's about all of you I can take. The concert programme from 7 years ago. An Augusta La Duca is listed as a harpist in the orchestra. Two theatre tickets for Shakespeare's Othello. The performance is tomorrow.
Have to respect the classics.
Well-organised workplace?
Mr. Capello is the best.
Okay, this chap is seriously creepy.
Actually, no.
What can you tell me about Mr. Capello?
He's a good employer, but very focused on work, and very serious about security, of course, since he employed a night watch of my caliber. Not everyone appreciates his strict business approach, though. Store clerks don't seem to last long in the office.
Good to know.
I don't know.
Is this code memo still valid?
Oh, yes. It's the same combination code everywhere. It corresponds to Mrs. Capello's birthday, actually. In fact, during this year's celebration, I was allowed a sip of champagne. That's when I had to dry my trousers, and then I had to...
OK, thank you, Billy. Have you noticed anything different about Mrs. Capello recently?
Not really. She talks to me more when I start my shift. Probably because of the 100 Best Curry Recipes book I'm reading. Oh, and we've been running out of paper a lot lately, so she often sends me out to buy more for her. She's very particular about the paper we use. Only one store on the island stocks it, and it's on the other side of the town. But I'm really fast.
Interesting, thank you.
Actually, no. I don't know. I know of it, but forgot.
Do you know what this note might be about?
I cannot presume to know another's mind, of course, but I think Mr. and Mrs. Capello have been having some familial difficulties, probably due to their lack of children. One of my oldest friends helps couples with their relationship troubles, and he always says...
You don't have to continue.
Oh, well, he says that to me as well, but I'm perfectly happy to.
No, I insist. Do you know anything about these entries?
No, but Mr. Capello is so well organised. I use a different method, very popular among the Buddhist monks. You create an attic in your mind and...
I'm familiar. Keep it tidy, put only necessary information in, remove unnecessary information regularly.
What? No, it's called an attic. You just stuff it with everything. You never know what might prove helpful someday.
That is profoundly upsetting. Do you know anything else about the dead body in the safe?
Well, there is the rule of threes. You can survive 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 hours in harsh weather, and 3 minutes...
Of you talking?
Without air. I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, very enlightening, Mr. Lloyd, thank you.
Actually... No.
Do you know whose keys these are?
Probably Mr. Capello's. Police took him so suddenly. I have the same set, but it's more efficient. Has fewer keys.
So you don't have access to the entire office?
No. Only Mr. and Mrs. Capello have the key to the back door.
The letter F is inscribed within a 4-leaf clover pattern. Passe-muraille. Walk through walls in French. Our thief seems rather arrogant. A comprehensive set of lockpicks, recently cleaned with no fresh scratches.
maybe it would be wise to take a look around outside before we enter. Just a thought.
The fu- a perfect choice.
Other gangs are planning. Other gangs are planning an attack on the backyard, boys. The pipe is looking for information. Other gangs are planning an attack on the back.
كيف حالك؟
يا لك من شخص لطيف.
جاري الجديد فظيع.
Buy some clothes. Help me feed my family.
One man's trash is another man. I've nothing left in stock.
Hello, mister. I've got some information for you. Heard you were asking.
Have you now? Well, let's hear it.
So the bandits, right? Not coming. Bigger fish to fry, they say. Bigger worries.
Interesting. Are you absolutely sure?
Heard it with my own ears. Lord is my witness.
Ah, good. Here you go. Buy yourself something nice. Might I suggest soap?
Oh, thank you, mister. Thank you. What a simpleton.
Supposed to be Philip from London. Good impression.
Despite being used, these... goods are still fine. Take
the worst clothes at the best price.
Not bad.
Oh.
Ow! No more crime for you until... Don't cry, you'll live.
He's all yours now. Go for it.
I'll put you 6 feet under.
Take a... Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't cry. Too simple.
Time to knock this...
Don't...
The snuff's ready.
Don't bother moving. You've lost. Too simple.
I'm coming for you.
He's all yours now. Go for it.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Okay, I give up.
And here we are, Miss Sevigny. A place where we can talk about all your recent activities. We have a nice profile on you, you know.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Is there nothing you didn't do, Miss Sevigny? Thieve for the gang, break into the Armor Capello office, kill Niccolo Detti?
What? Kill? I didn't kill nobody. No, How?
So you admit the rest. I suppose you won't mind explaining some things to me then. You were in the Armor Capello office yesterday evening, Miss Sevigny. The same place that Niccolo Detti was found dead today. What happened?
How would you know? You can't prove anything?
It's written all over you, Miss Sevigny. I presume you did not intend your evening to end with a fall over the railing and a fracas with felines. Need I continue?
Zut alors! It was just a job, nothing else. I was asked to come. Here, see for yourself. I don't know who hired me, but I think they wanted to pin the crime on me. Poor Niccolo.
When were you offered this job?
Ah, mon Dieu. I don't remember precisely. I think the letter arrived around 9:30 in the evening. It sounded tricky, but the money was good.
And you arrived at the office?
Perhaps 45 minutes later. I am very good, sir. I was in and out in 5 minutes.
I don't like lies.
No, wait. Okay. It took 15 minutes. All right? Still impressive, no?
You knew Mr. Detti, how?
Niccolo and I grew up together. I hadn't seen him in years, then ran into him on the street, smiling with some lovely lady on his arm.
And that was the last time you saw him alive?
Well, until I found him dead yesterday. That same woman was there, too. It can't be coincidence.
You saw a woman in the office?
Mm-hmm. She started screaming, so I slammed the safe door and ran when I saw a guard coming.
Your thieving days may well be over, Miss Sevigny. Until this matter is resolved, you will remain here. Good day.
What a long day.
What exactly was your relationship with Niccolo Detti?
Who? What are you talking about?
Madam, please, a young woman dedicated to her music and an enthusiastic artist. Your marriage to Basilio could not have offered all you needed. And then about 6 months ago, you met Niccolo Detti. There was a spark, you started to see each other. It brought passion back into your life.
How could you...
But your tryst didn't go unnoticed. Felicia Sevigny spotted you with Niccolo, but rather than cease your affair, you took care to avoid the public eye. You started working with your husband at the office and met your lover there in the evening after Basilio departed. Billy would not notice, and you hoped neither would your husband. Do I have this right so far?
Yes. I love Basilio, I truly do. But his first passion is his work. I respect that, but it left me adrift. Niccolo. Oh, sweet Niccolo. He was the man I needed. If he had had any other name, I would have talked to Basilio. But he was a Detti.
And your husband suspected something?
I think he did. He asked questions. Billy's schedule was moved forwards here. Yes, he suspected.
And thus we arrive at the heart of the matter. How did Mr. Detti end up deceased in the safe?
I do not know.
Madam?
I don't know anything about his death.
Are you sure this is how you wish to proceed?
It is the truth. Please, just leave me be.
It is a shame it has come to this, but it is patently obvious that you are responsible for Niccolo Detti's death.
How dare you? I wouldn't want him to.
I see you need some persuasion. I know that Niccolo Detti went to the office to meet you. It was a midnight tryst. Niccolo would visit the office once Basilio left, but this time he returned. So you hid Niccolo in the safe. A foolish move.
I didn't know the code had changed. It was the only choice. I couldn't let him be found. I loved him.
Really? You could have saved his life by simply speaking with your husband, but you sought to free him another way. To free Mr. Detti, you hired Felicia Sevigny, a petty burglar, to crack the safe, and as a result, you killed your lover.
No, It's because the combination had changed. It is not my fault.
You are splitting hairs, Mrs. Capello. The fact remains you chose to risk Niccolo's life rather than call your husband. And I know why. You were afraid how it would affect the reputation of the Capellos, and you feared what your husband would do as a consequence.
He's a good man, but he cares about his business, about the family. It would have destroyed him.
And now he's accused of murder, Mrs. Capello. How considerate of you.
Mio Dio, how did this all happen?
Despite your best intentions, Mrs. Capello, I believe you are to blame for this sorry affair, not Basilio.
I think you're right, sir. Basilio, he does not deserve this. None of this.
It is not my place to decide what is deserved, but perhaps you now know what to say to the inspector.
I do.
Good day, madam.
I don't think Mrs. Capello did this on purpose. I would have let her go. Come on, Sherry. Say, I am the law. Come on, Sherry. Say, I am the law.
killed with one perfect shot to each eye. Can you imagine?
Good day, sir.
Merhaba. Good day to be alive.
And, by extension, a poor day to take a bullet. Why are you just standing there?
I came to take the deceased to the cemetery, but caught sight of Mother Nature's bounty and had to drink my fill. You won't mind anyway. Let me tell you, friend. The sweet sea air, the calming whisper of the waves, it's a salve for all ills.
Do you know what happened here?
Officer said there was a duel, shots fired, and then that fellow took his last breath. Reminds me of last year.
So the inspectors have been and gone?
Of course. Police don't let an undertaker do his work before they've finished theirs.
You mentioned a previous incident.
It was in the old city ruins. I remember the deceased was very rich. Front page news. Very, very rich he was. But a coin makes a poor shield, as I always say. And who needs it when a view like this is free?
Who died?
Oh, no, mister. It is not my place to say.
Not your place? Nonsense. As you say, he won't mind.
Death with dignity, that's all we can hope for, sir. He doesn't need his name out there.
We're done.
This man is no more. He's ceased to be. He's expired and gone to meet his maker. He's a stiff. Bereft of life, he rests
Predictably,
in peace.
the rumours
You know
were
the rest.
exaggerated. The blindfold is intact, with both eyes unharmed. A Webley top-break revolver. Blank cartridges filled with a wax-covered gelatin bullet. Effectively harmless, even at close range, but leaves a nice red splash on impact. The bullet entered the heart at an angle, implying it was fired from an elevated position. He died instantly. A key for a birdcage? I'll take it. The duelist eventually reloaded his gun, but all the cartridges were filled with red non-lethal rounds. A blindfold, discarded or lost. Your opponent was behind you. blank cartridges filled with red wax-covered gelatin bullets. Most assuredly non-lethal, if rather theatrical on impact. A case for dueling Webley revolvers. The corner of the box is broken, likely from being dropped.
Gosh, how exciting. I always wanted to be a member of a club. I bet you couldn't join. No good at following orders, are you, Sherry?
Ah, the contest then. I shall prove my blind devotion, so to speak, to their inane rules, and you shall eat your words. Red stains, relatively fresh. A Lamat revolver, .42 caliber. One chamber is empty, the others are filled with live rounds. The victim was killed by someone up on the wall. It may have been the referee who took advantage of the duelists while they were blindfolded. This seems plausible, but I must consider all options. What if there was another person here? The victim was killed by someone up on the wall. There may have been someone else here, a fourth person waiting for an opportunity to strike.
Sometimes I think beauty can blind you, or
You can be blind to beauty, you know? Did he see it all around him, do you think, before he covered his eyes and drew his pistol?
Can we please leave the nattering behind?
Oh, friend, relax. Life's too short to be short with people.
Enough tomfoolery. Give me the victim's name.
I told you that's his business, not yours. 2 men duelled, 1 man died. When you hit a rock, stop digging.
There is more to this case than meets the eye. The victim fell not to his dual opponent, but a hidden marksman in the ruins. Abandon your oversimplistic ideals and tell me the name of the deceased so his killer can be caught.
Ah, that is wrong, to be sure. Okay, the man's name was Erich von Staub. I heard the officers say that he lived in Scaladio.
At last. You may return to your vacant stare.
Extra, extra! The hive gets stung! Substantial...
Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in her boudoir.
How many German composers feature here? It appears the parents are dearly missed. Our beloved parents, 1875, Baden-Baden. Rest in peace. Good day, miss. I regret to disturb you at this tragic time, but could you spare a moment?
Oh, officer. I've been waiting. Is his body still in that horrible place?
A horrible place? I should introduce you to the Undertaker. But first, you and I shall get to know one another. I am Officer Holmes. I take it you are Magda von Staub, the sister of the deceased?
Oh, pardon me. Yes, I am.
My deepest condolences, Miss von Staub. Your brother's body will be returned to you shortly, as I believe the case will soon be closed. Nevertheless, there remain some formalities requiring attention. May I ask you a few questions?
Oh, if you must. But I'm unsure if I will be of much help.
Do you know if Mr. von Staub had any enemies? Someone that may have sought to do him harm?
Enemies? I don't know. He and I did not discuss such matters, and he was rarely called upon by visitors. My brother's only guests were his friendly contests, but I was not allowed to participate. I merely heard it all from my room.
Contests?
Eric would practice shooting on the patio, and occasionally friends would join him, but I couldn't tell you if they ever argued.
Forgive my intrusion, but I must inquire about your bruises. Did you take a tumble?
Oh, I have a weak disposition. It is not so bad, but my skin marks more easily than a peach. It is the least of my sorrows.
But, Miss von Staub, I can tell you suffered new bruises even before the old ones had healed.
I have nothing more to add, Officer Holmes. It is what it is.
Where were you when your brother died, Miss von Staub?
I was here painting Eric's portrait. My God, you could have asked the servants.
Alas, I needed to hear it from your lips. May I take a look at Mr. von Staub's room? His personal effects may prove invaluable in our understanding of the case.
Please do. Here's the key.
Look at those vases. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, I love it when you're reckless. Were those Limoges porcelain?
You have a keen eye.
Well, I suppose it's yours. Next time, shoot with a blindfold.
An ointment by a Dr. Herbert with a lavender and pine scent. A handsome portrait of Eric. Miss von Staub does have talent. The rounds have been emptied. The black paint looks thick. It's been mixed with something. Excellent score. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. A sad home for a young woman. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. A sad home for a young woman. The end and the beginning. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. A sad home for a young woman. A wealthy man in his 60s. Sir Barnaby Boddington, 1879. A typical crest for a league or a guild. Club headquarters, 190th anniversary celebration. This whip is well loved and well used. I found burnt letters in your brother's room. I believe they were addressed to you.
To me? From whom?
They appear to be from some of your suitors. Why did you burn them?
I didn't. I didn't even know about them. Eric, he never said a word.
One of the revolver cases in your brother's room is missing. Do you know where it may be?
I'm not permitted in Eric's quarters. I suppose he must have taken it with him. I don't understand. I don't understand.
It seems you and Mr. Boddington were to be engaged. Were you as thrilled at the prospect as your brother?
Mr. Boddington is not how I had imagined my husband. But it was Eric's choice. I didn't dare dispute it. I don't understand.
There is an unfinished portrait of your brother in your room. Beautiful to be sure, but one detail drew my attention. Why did you add gunpowder to your black paint?
You entered my room? I thought you were only inspecting Eric's.
It is standard procedure, Miss von Staub. Now, tell me about the gunpowder.
Eric's art was his shooting, and this painting is my tribute to him. It felt appropriate. We're both artists in different ways. Oh, please, let me mourn my brother. That was the third.
Please come in, sir. The gen...
Fancy. Not every manor has a custom floor.
That is the von Kramkress, the old Prussian noble family. They must be patrons of the
How
club.
often do you think they check the submission box? My application deserves prompt consideration.
It's the killer. Shake a leg. Get him.
Eat lead!
We can overcome the brute now.
Nope.
He's all yours now. Go for it.
Too simple.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you.
Take a rest, my friend. No more crime for you until next month.
I'm coming for you.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff. Time to knock this guy out.
I couldn't miss the party.
No more crime for you until next month.
I'm coming for you. I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
Oh, don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't bother moving.
The snuff's ready. I must say, Sherry, that was near perfect. Could it be that you're not completely hopeless?
The same ingredient was used in the dueling revolver's ammunition. The same ingredient was used in the dueling revolver's ammunition. All these places are perfectly secluded, ideal for private duels. Two glasses with dregs of alcohol. Should I pour us a drink, John? A nice apricot aroma. Marillen schnapps, I presume. Half full. Glass crushed underfoot with damp traces still visible. Clever system.
Who the devil are you? I won't go down without a fight.
Sherlock Holmes, and if I wanted a fight, you would already be on the floor. Fortunately for you, I'm merely here to ask a few questions.
Is that so? Well, come on, pretty boy. How about I fix that nose of yours? Give it a bit more character.
Enough. Your compatriots attacked me and I responded. They still have their lives, unlike Mr. von Staub.
True. At least you are not a murderer. Fine, you may speak.
So, you are Mr. von Kram, one of the club's best shots, the referee of the deadly duel, and witness to Mr. von Staub's murder.
Incorrect. I am the best shot at the club. Heinrich Vögen von Kram. But how did you know I was there?
Your clothes, Mr. von Kram. The dirt on your trousers confirms your presence in the old ruins. And your jacket features a bloodstain from your attempts to save Mr. von Staub.
That is impressive.
It is merely inferential. Now, a few questions, if I may.
Be my guest. I have nothing to hide.
I'd like to speak with the other competitor.
He left the island. Mr. Dorfman was sure that the killer was after him. He is innocent, I assure you.
Indeed, from his position it would be impossible to fire the bullet at such a downward trajectory, but he was a witness. Shame. So, what transpired in the old ruins?
Everything began as normal. The signatures, choice of weapons. I checked it all, and then blindfolded the duelists. Erich stood to my left, and his opponent, Mr. Dorfman, to my right. Before they could begin, the killer fired. And I'm sure it was not Dorfman.
Why are you so sure?
The sound was different. Not a Webley revolver. And further away. The killer must be an excellent shot to hit the heart.
Did you or the other duelist see the murderer?
No. The killer slipped away into the hills, so we turned our attention to Erich. Rest his soul.
And neither of you pursued the culprit?
I will not have my character impugned. We had only blank cartridges and a fallen friend at our feet. He was our focus.
What transpired after the shooting?
I heard Erich cry out and fall. Mr. Dorfman turned and fired at the killer, but I shouted at him to stop and help. I tried to save Erich, but it was too late. He was gone. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen this before. I can't help you with this. I've never seen this before. I don't know what you're talking about.
You have a nice collection of pistols, Mr. von Kram.
Ah, a fellow connoisseur of firearms. Did something catch your eye?
What caught my eye is a missing Lamate. Where is it?
Ah, that one. I lost it in a bet. A rare failure of mine.
A bet with whom?
That's private, Mr. Holmes, and unrelated to your investigation. I've never seen this before. I can't help you with this. I've never seen this before. I can't help you with this. I've never seen this before. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you with this. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
It seems you owed Mr. von Staub a small fortune.
A fortune to you, perhaps, but a trifle to me. Our debts ebbed and flowed. In our next contest, there was every chance I would win it back. Erich was too concerned about all that. Frankly, he often lacked the demeanor of a nobleman. His progressive tendencies could be grating. I can't help you with this.
Last year, there was a similar incident in which a duelist died. What can you tell me?
A tragedy. I shot too well, and my opponent stumbled from the impact. He slipped and fell down the cliff. I regret it all. I have not participated in a duel since. Instead, I only take the role of a referee and supervise the proceedings for safety. I swore that no other club member would die in a duel. Alas, someone else intervened. I've never seen this before. I can't help you with this. I can't help you with this. I can't help you with this. I don't know what you're talking about.
As it happens, a Lamat .42 caliber revolver was discovered at the crime scene. You said you were missing a Lamat, yes?
I did, but my Lamat was a .36 caliber.
And you can prove that?
My word is proof enough. If I said it, it is true.
How to sharpen one's senses. Addressed to Heinrich von Kram and written with a nervous hand. Addressed to Heinrich von Kram and written with a nervous hand. Arrived just yesterday. A remarkable tool to conveniently enhance anything. I could use one for my analysis. Recordings labelled in Braille.
Your ability to perceive the world can be developed with work and concentration.
Doesn't appear to be the happiest childhood. Cecilia von Kram with Heinrich, Cologne, 1864. Mein Wunder. There must be more you can recall from the day of the duel.
I wish. My eyes make me a poor witness, I'm afraid.
Yes, your blindness. An affliction since childhood, one presumes. No scars on your face, and you carry yourself with confidence.
I'm starting to see your worth, Mr. Holmes.
But this limitation developed your other senses and made you an excellent marksman. So, tell me, did you notice anything else?
I do recall a floral smell. Something artificial. It was sweet and fresh and came from the direction of the killer.
You and Eric were competing for the position of honorary consul, yes? Quite the title.
We were, but he stood no chance. Only a true nobleman could take such a role.
Difficult for him to contest it now. Do you recognize this scent?
Yes. This is it. The smell I noticed at the ruins. Where did you get it? Who killed Eric? Tell me his name.
I need to be elsewhere.
That was the third.
Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in...
Going on a trip, miss?
No, I'm leaving permanently. This place brought me nothing but sorrow. I am sorry. What do you want?
I think the time has come to be honest with each other, Miss von Staub. I'll start with my confession. I misled you in our previous meeting. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I do not work for the police.
What? I don't understand.
In actuality, I was independently investigating your brother's death and came to an unexpected conclusion.
How? Why?
It was not a tragic accident, miss. It was cold-blooded murder. And I know the culprit.
No. Who is he?
Nice try, but as you well know, I'm talking to the culprit right now.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Certainly not. Allow me to explain how you killed your brother. The missing box in your brother's room contained a lamat, the same weapon used for the murder. You stole it to kill your brother.
What? No. Eric was obsessed with guns. I bet he simply left that revolver somewhere else.
Yes, it was left somewhere else. The crime scene. Abandoned in panic, a typical feminine response.
No, I've never been to that cursed place.
You hid behind the wall in the ruins. None of the others present could have killed Eric from that position. Both the duelists were blindfolded, and Mr. von Cram is ill-sighted.
So nobody saw anything? Your imagination has run wild.
Ah, but you forget one thing. A blind man's other senses grow stronger. Mr. von Cram detected a lavender and pine scent. That of your ointment.
You're taking the word of a sightless man. This is monstrous.
It is your brother who was monstrous. He was a tyrant, and you could tolerate his abuse no longer.
Living with Eric was a nightmare, yes. But he was my brother.
Now, Miss von Staub, take your time. Tell me the truth.
After our parents died, my life slowly became hell. My brother began to humiliate me. Then he became violent. Each day he'd invent a new punishment. Shut my room, burn my paintings, starve me. And without fail, I would be beaten. All visits were forbidden, all contact verboten. I was his caged bird, his pet. When we did go out, he used me to bait influential people. He sold me to Mr. Boddington simply to earn a place amongst this island's elite.
Was that not freedom from your brother?
He sold me as a thing, sir. Who do you think this gentleman was? I could not endure more cruelty. Mr. Holmes, I'm begging you. Please don't do this to me. Don't throw me from one cage to another.
You have suffered enough, Miss von Staub, but now it is over. I will not turn you into the police.
I don't know what to say. What will happen with the case?
The usual. With their typical stupidity, the inspectors will confidently declare the case a tragic accident, and that will be that.
I didn't expect such kindness.
Kindness? No, where the truth reveals injustice, I expect accountability, but in this matter, Miss von Staub, I see no injustice at all.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I'll never forget what you're doing.
I am behind you 100%. I'm sure Miss von Staub wouldn't waste the chance for a better life.